The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
All right, well, we wish him well. We hope everything works out for him. But in the meantime, we want this to work out for you, though, the 1975. And you'll meet them Sunday at the Allstate Arena. It's officially 8 o'clock. The Know the Show hour is over. 3 questions about what we've talked about in the last hour. Hopefully you're listening the whole time, because you need to, because it started some of the stuff right early at 7, and some of the stuff ended a little bit ago. So here we go. These are the 3 questions at 312-591-8300. Question number 1. What landmark did Brian think Country Club Hills was near? Question number 2. What century did the dodo bird become extinct in? And question number 3, maybe the toughest of all these, how much does the Tide antibacterial fabric spray cost? The exact price we need.
I got to be honest, Brian. I know the answer to all 3 of these. I'd love to play.
It's nice that you were here and you know that.
I would love to play.
312-591-8300. Call right now. First person to answer all 3 of those questions gets that incredible experience from Brian and Kenzie in Q101.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101, the Know the Show hour. We asked 3 questions just a few minutes ago about the 7 o'clock hour. 312-591-8300. And first person to get all the questions right gets to see the 1975 on Sunday, and we'll get to meet them. And Mia's checking in from Chicago. So, Mia, ahoy. Welcome in.
Ahoy.
Okay, so I'm not going to tell you if you're right or wrong. I'm just going to give you the questions, and you give me the answers, okay?
All right.
Here we go from the Know the Show hour. Question number 1. What landmark did Brian think Country Club Hills was near?
Countryside.
What century did the dodo bird become extinct in?
The 1600s, specifically 1662.
How much does the Tide antibacterial fabric spray cost?
$5.65.
Oh, Mia, I'm so sorry.
We can't say what.
I'm not going to tell you what.
We don't want to give somebody else a chance to correct their answer.
Oh, Mia, I'm so sorry. You there?
Or she does
Yeah,
not
I'm there.
like you.
Okay.
She
Yeah.
does not like you, Brian.
Well, we're going to do it again tomorrow. So at 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. tomorrow. Make sure you're with
Or
us
you
then.
can try it to call back. You can try to figure it out.
Well, we'll see what happens to Christina. Maybe she's going to get it right.
Right.
Christina,
Well,
ahoy.
Hi, ahoy. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, everyone. In your house, in your car, wherever you are. Where are you at right now?
Funny is I'm actually at work, who is in Countryside. I'm from Oak Forest, which is close to Country Club Hills.
Oh, boy.
So really, really far apart.
And really detailed about the area. So let's get to the questions. Here we go.
Okay.
Question number 1. What landmark did Brian think Country Club Hills was near?
Brookfield Zoo.
What century did the dodo bird become extinct in?
1600, so 17th century.
Okay. And how much does the Tide antibacterial fabric spray cost?
I really, really think it's $5.99.
You're going to the 1975!
You did it!
Oh my God! Oh my! I could cry right now. Oh my God!
Oh my God, we're so excited for you.
You're going to meet them too, you know.
Oh my God! I'm shaking.
Oh, I can tell. She's so excited.
So sweet. And you get the payoff happens immediately this Sunday, the show at the Allstate Arena, and you will be there.
Oh my God! Oh my God! So much! Oh my God! Thank you! Thank you! Thank you! Oh my God!
Oh, you're so welcome.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
All right, remember, again, we'll do the Know the Show hour, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. tomorrow, and that is your chance at the 1975 tickets, and you'll meet the 1975. Just listen. Just kick back and listen, and we'll ask you questions about that hour. The first person to get them then gets that incredible experience. This is kind of like news of the weird, entertainment news of the weird. And this headline alone, just reading it out loud, doesn't sound real.
Sounds like a Mad Lib.
It's like an Onion headline almost. Kurt Cobain's daughter married Tony Hawk's son, and the officiant was Michael Stipe.
Goals.
That's fun.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
It's wild. So it's Frances Bean Cobain, daughter of Kurt Cobain and Courtney Love, married Riley Hawk, son of Tony Hawk, and Michael Stipe performed the ceremony. It's just,
Who do you think was like there, like guest list wise?
Jesus? I mean, with that headline, I'm just
Tony
thinking.
Hawk's daughter equates to Jesus.
Yeah.
Interesting.
She was the flower girl.
Yeah.
Jesus was an usher at the wedding.
Good usher.
Which side of the family are you on? Which one do you like?
Are you with the Hawks or the Cobains?
I don't know about you, but if Jesus at my wedding, I would hope he's doing the catering.
Oh, turning wine into water into wine?
And multiplying a lot of the food.
Yeah.
A nice low budget. That's what I'm talking about.
Always think of that bottom line.
Okay.
I want Jesus there to convert things in the food to save money.
Let's utilize this the right way.
Yeah, this is just. Francis' godmother is Drew Barrymore, by the way.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Which one's Francis again?
What's what now?
Which one was Francis?
Francis
is
Bean Cobain, daughter of Courtney Love and Kurt Cobain.
Okay, okay, and then her. Okay.
Her godmother is Drew.
Don't hurt yourself.
Yeah, easy.
Oh my God.
Slow down. Her godmother is Drew Barrymore. Michael Stipe is actually her
Did
godfather.
Drew Barrymore go?
I'm sorry?
Did Drew Barrymore go?
Did Drew Barrymore go?
There's no word on the
He said the same sentence. Why did it make sense when he?
Well, he listens to me.
That's not true. I listen to her very carefully.
No, you don't.
There's no word on the ceremony on like if there were even guests. It might have just been Michael Stipe and all them in the room. It's not even clear if Courtney Love was there. Her mom. Kind of weird.
Huh.
But then again, she's got some issues.
Yeah, but if Michael Stipe was going to be there, you're good on star power. I'm trying to get Michael Stipe to officiate my wedding. That'd be great.
Yeah.
It'd be fantastic.
Weird to have Michael Stipe, and not have your mom.
Yeah.
I could see that working into my wedding. If I get Michael Stipe, my mom might get booted off the invite list.
You're really mean to your mom. She does a lot for you,
I'm not.
and you're always just dunking on your own personal preferences.
I'm not dunking on my mom. I am just a big fan. I have the Michael Stipe jersey. I'm not dunking on anybody. I'm just a big fan
like she
of
comes
him.
into town, you make her build stuff.
She volunteered.
Oh yeah, just tribute.
Builds albums.
That's fun.
Album holders.
Just
for
so
her.
that, yeah, she probably has to volunteer just so you'll spend time with her. And then you'd uninvite her to your wedding.
Only if Michael Stipe was going to be
And then
there.
yesterday you said, if her parents died, you would leave to go to a concert.
Well, Blue Man Group, yeah.
So, I mean, I feel bad for her.
Well,
She
look,
raised you.
there's a lot of things that's like, well, I'm on her
Because you
side.
didn't have like a terrible childhood.
No, I had a very nice childhood.
Exactly.
I'm on her
mean-
side until blank, and Michael Stipe and Blue Man
But
Group are
there's
the
so
blank.
many blanks. It's not like this is the one off. It's like there's so many scenarios where you're just like, well, that's good. Tough on you, Mom.
Did you know, Kenzie, that I interviewed Courtney Love one time and she was thirsty for me?
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure she wanted you so bad.
Oh, you don't believe it?
Everybody says you're the Kurt Cobain of Chicago.
Me? Or Case?
I'm sure she wanted a piece of that.
Listen, I have evidence right here on this radio station on Q101.
You have evidence that
Yeah.
she wanted you?
You listen to the
Or that
audio.
you talked to her?
You listen to the audio and you decide.
Okay.
Okay. This is from the early 2000s here on Q101, back in the day when I used to be called Sludge.
Mm-hmm.
And she called up, and honestly, she wouldn't hang up. The interview was over.
How long were you on the phone with her?
An hour and 50 minutes.
That's awesome.
It was supposed to be a 10-minute interview. And she wouldn't hang up, which is not usually a problem with a radio station. We're happy when an A-level guest calls up and spends a lot of time on the radio station.
We're happy with 10 minutes.
Yeah. So this is the actual audio. This was right at the end when I finally was able to close out the interview. And this is me talking to Courtney Love.
Courtney, thanks
Yeah.
for calling.
You know, you're getting me really sad.
I'm sorry.
Love springs eternal, and I'm going to be miserable. Like with Violet, that was about Billy, and then there's songs about Kurt. And this record, like, there's not anything about anyone who's arrived. Me and Francis will make a heart shaped pie, and I'll cry into it.
Good. We wish you the best.
You do?
Yeah.
Really? Are you
Yeah.
cute?
Yeah.
Are you cute?
Am I cute? Yeah. Thanks
Call
for
me
hanging.
anytime, okay?
No.
I need to get laid.
Courtney
Pray for
Love.
me.
So do I. It's Courtney Love.
Now we're back in real time. That was a little trip
Well,
back
that's
into my
not
really.
fair.
Why not?
Because you lied.
What did I lie? So I was cute?
That's very misleading. Oh.
She asked if I'm cute. What am I supposed to say? No?
Well, you should have just told the truth. What do you think the truth is, Brian?
What's the truth? I'm okay. I'm a regular guy.
You have a great personality.
Oh, God.
You do.
That's terrible.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Time for Head to Headlines. We give you two headlines, and then you decide what story we talk about next. You decide the content. The other story we'll never talk about again. So you have to choose very wisely on the text line at 312-591-8300. Based on the headline alone, what story you really want to hear more about. So here we go. Headline number 1.
Yes.
Las Vegas woman left U2 concert to take $50,000 from Sugar Daddy's hotel safes, police say.
Say it again.
Okay. I mess it up somehow? Okay, here we go.
It was a little slurry.
A little slurry. Las Vegas woman left U2 concert to take $50,000 from Sugar Daddy's hotel safe, police say.
Well, it just sounds like a normal night in Vegas to me. Where's the headline?
If you want to hear more about that story, we'll get to that. Or the other headline, 312-591-8300. Headline number 2, text in. Chicago group sheds Audubon Society name because it's racist. Here's why. Now, you text in headline number 2 if you want to hear more about that story. 312-591-8300. You decide what story we talk about next and in depth with Brian and Kenzie on Q101.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Head to headlines. You decide what we talk about right now through that song. You guys texted in headline number 1 or headline number 2. That's how we get to the deeper part of the story from the headline alone. And headline number 1 was Las Vegas woman left U2 concert to take $50,000 from Sugar Daddy's hotel safe, police say. That was headline 1. Then headline number 2 was Chicago's Audubon Society changed name because it's racist. Now, the first headline, I get it. Some people were like, well, that just tells the whole story, doesn't it? She went to the room to take $50,000 from her Sugar Daddy's hotel safe.
Because I got to be honest with you, we got way more votes for story number 2.
Yeah, we try to make them even. That was Case's story, and I came up with the Chicago Audubon story. And yes, headline number 2 wins handily. Sorry, Case. I mean, it's not your fault.
Why are you throwing me under the bus like that? I come up with good stuff for the show.
I know you do, but
Not today.
Not today. Not today.
That sucks.
Clearly.
No one wanted to hear that.
I'll see myself out. Good Lord.
No, stick around for this one because it's good. Okay?
Oh, no,
So you know what a good story sounds like? Next time you're looking.
A little education here.
Let me shut up and take notes.
Yeah, sit back there, take some notes while me and Kenzie have some fun over here.
Oh, God.
Get your legal pad out. Get your binder, and here we go. First off, Kenzie, do you even know, because I did not, what the Chicago Audubon Society is or what they do?
Isn't it something with like racing or something?
Like racing, like the Autobahn over in Europe? No, it has nothing to do with cars.
Well, the word's auto's in it. Sorry.
Yeah.
What a horrible guess.
Well, it's spelled Audubon.
No.
So Autobahn.
Nope.
And it turns out that's a guy's name, okay?
What do they do?
I had no idea what they did. Apparently they love birds. They're changing the name to the Chicago Bird Alliance, the group formerly known as the Chicago Audubon
They
Society.
love birds?
They love birds. They love bird watching. They're naturalists. They're conservationists. And they're trying to, they do all that they can to help nature. But they also, birds is their focus of the Audubon Society, okay? So they're changing their name based on a lot of other states doing the same thing. They've been around since 1971, the Chicago Audubon Society. Why are they changing their name? Because it turns out they found out that the legacy of John James Audubon, the namesake of the group.
Was he a big bird guy?
He was a big bird guy.
Okay.
Big naturalist, same thing that they are. Conservationalist, had a lot of books and things written about how to, save the world and conserve nature and birds. He's a big bird guy. They also found out that he owned slaves just recently.
He recently owned them? Or they recently found out?
No, he's been dead for a while.
Okay.
That'd have been a real...
Good Lord, where does he live?
I think you would have saw that on the news.
My God.
It would have been on, Fox or
Still
ABC.
bad, I'm just asking.
Yeah, he died in 1851. I don't know how this happens, but this thing's been around, this organization, since 1971, and they named it after him because he was just like them, a big conservationalist, a bird guy, loved birds, and they named the group after him.
Not a people guy.
No, not at all. And it even gets worse. They said this, by the way. We're very proud to be the leaders of this movement for a name that is welcoming and inclusive, which is the Chicago Bird Alliance. That's the new name.
Honestly, That probably would have been good to lead with initially.
By me or them?
Like them.
I agree because I also thought it was dealing with the Audubon, like the cars.
Yes.
This is new info to me.
Yep. So they somehow, it doesn't say how or when they finally realized this, but he was a slave owner with racist views and poor treatment of black and indigenous people to the point where he actually, I don't know why he did this, he dug up remains and stole remains of burial sites of Native Americans, according to Smithsonian Magazine. And he was a bad guy. He was not a good guy.
Stole them and did what with them?
I don't know. It just says he stole the artifacts
My
from
God.
there. Yeah. I mean, he's not around. Like, to your point, this didn't happen last week where he was owning slaves. Thank God.
Well, you said he recently owned slaves.
I mean, they recently found out he owned slaves.
I was just clarifying.
But not only that, he was also, basically, his whole image, everything about him is wrong. He made up stuff back in the day to compete
He
against.
didn't even like birds.
He made up other species of birds and said he found them and he discovered this species. He was accused of being a plagiarist and academic fraud. I mean, everything about this guy was horrible.
Oh, my God.
Yet they named an organization after him for 50 years because they found out he liked birds and didn't do a little deeper dive on
You
him.
think somebody was just on TikTok who was part of the Audubon and was like, oh, God, they just want a video? Like, how do you do a deep dive on this guy from that long? How do you find out now that he lied?
Right. That's what I'm trying to say. How does it go 50 some years? I know the internet, it's not brand new.
Like his great-great-great-granddaughter's like, yo, who sucked?
My great-great-great-grandfather.
How do you find that out?
Yeah. It's new news. It came to the forefront here. And listen.
Does that wreck your world when you realize everything you know is wrong? Because I just went through this wormhole. You know the baseball player Ty Cobb?
Yes.
Okay. So baseball player in the early 20th century.
Don't tell me something bad about Ty Cobb.
It's the opposite.
Oh, okay.
He's had this reputation for being this awful, vile, horrible guy. I just learned that it was all fabricated. His biographer wrote an autobiography with Ty Cobb. He basically was bored by Ty Cobb. Was like, this guy sucks. He's got nothing good to say. So when he died, he wrote this biography that made up all of these terrible things about him. There was a movie made called Cobb that painted Ty Cobb as this awful guy. Turns out, delightful Georgia peach, very sweet man for the most part. And there's this reputation of him.
How did those residencies sign off on that?
I don't know. There was just this guy that had access to him, and after he died, he just started writing terrible things about it. And my entire life, I thought Ty Cobb was this jerk. Turns out he's not.
Well, that's terrible.
Slightly adjacent. Somebody wants to change their vote for the story because they thought you said Autobots. And they're bummed out.
Hey, I love Transformers. If I said it, I apologize, but it's also not too wrong. Also, 224 checked in. I went to a school named John J. Audubon, named after the guy we're talking about. John
Why
James.
are people naming schools after the bird guy? I don't get it.
It's ridiculous. By the way, was Ty Cobb a bird guy? Does it say anything in his other? It is in the new light of his,
Let me look it up. I'm not doing enough right now.
His good
He's the one
image.
who discovered the birds, and then Audubon stole it from him.
I mean, why don't we pick one guy from history
I
to
just feel like
prop
there's-
up?
Yeah,
And and no one does the research.
Wasn't there people in history who did better things? Like, if you're like, what are we going to name our school after?
Well, to your point.
This guy found some birds. Who cares?
To your point, we looked at the 1600s. Not much good happened back there. But I mean,
Do you have to exclusively pick people from the 1600s when you're naming schools?
There had to be somebody good they could have done something with back then, right? There had to
I'm
be
sure
somebody.
people did good things.
Why didn't somebody else like birds and they named the society after that? Like this
He
guy.
probably pushed him out.
And you look at a picture of this guy on Wikipedia. He looks like a bad guy.
What's his full name?
So it's John James Audubon, but he was born Jean-Jacques Rabin.
Do you think
He was French American.
Was he initially Jingleheimer Schmidt?
That would take that song. That song would get canceled then too, if he was.
Oh.
You gotta pull it out of rotation.
I can't have anything.
Oh, damn.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101, and we're getting so close to Halloween, but I found this disturbing. Kenzie informed me of this as I call it like the wussification of America a little bit.
Oh, jeez. Disturbing's a stretch. I was just sharing something with you. You're going to sound like...
sharing, disturbing. Well, here's the thing. You told me that Tristan, your son, going to school for his Halloween costume, and you made this incredible. When you described it, I'm like, that is awesome, what you did. And he can't wear it to school Because?
Okay, so here's the deal. This year, my son, it's always a homemade costume with some type of like special effect. Very fun, right?
Yep.
This year, my son's going to be himself cut in half.
Cool.
Okay?
That's
Very
cool.
So there's versions. I'm like, do you want it to be silly? Do you want to be a character? Like, would you like to be a clown cut in half, or what your favorite, video game character cut in half, or do you want to be you? Like, so we talked about it, and he was like, he wanted it a little scarier, right? So he's like, I want like, some blood on my jeans when I'm cut in half, and then I ordered like intestines to glue to the top of the jeans because that's what it would look like if you got somebody over, right?
Sure,
so
there's some intestines in there,
but definitely not like. There's no slits, there's no weapons, there's none of that, okay? So we get the email from school because, of course, they're going to have a Halloween party. They're going to have their Halloween parade.
Yeah.
And there's rules on the costumes. I know that you can't do the weapons thing at school, even though they're fake. Like, I know the real ones too, but like fake weapons because safety is distracting to kids in case, somebody thinks it is
scared,
real,
yeah.
etc. That's fine. But they said nothing scary and no fake blood at all. And I was
I was
like, no, like, because his is not scary by any means. It's not like some crippled, like, there's nothing about it that's freaky. It's actually kind of like more like weird looking, like, whoa, you look like a man. Like, he's going to be walking around smiling. Like, it's not scary. There's nothing on his face.
Here I am.
Yeah, he just looks like he's part of a magic trick. And so I told him, because he was kind of bummed out, and I go, don't worry about it. I go, here's what we're going to do. I'm not going to add the blood or the little intestine thing. I'll just glue those on when you get home from school on Halloween, and you can trick or treat with those. That way, you're just the guy cut in half with no blood, for the day at school. So he's like, oh, okay. But, he's getting older. He's 9.5. He's almost 10. And he's like, he wanted a cool, like, edgy costume.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, is that bad? Am I wrong?
I don't think so. Here's the thing. I mean, my kid obviously is 11 months old. I'm not gonna. She's gonna be a little like Amazon bought sheep costume. No stress.
So cute.
Yeah, no stress there. But it's Halloween, and I think a little fake blood and intestines is fun. I think everybody's overthinking everything. That's what I think. The people in charge. I'm not blaming the school administrators. I'm sure they're great people, but I think they're just overthinking it and not letting a little bit of fake blood and intestines.
I get, like, we don't want. See, being cut in half, like, maybe that qualifies as an injury. But, certain injuries you don't want displayed. I get that. Like, we don't want it to look like a weapon sticking out or something. I could understand at school. But it's like, I don't know. It just looks like a magic trick. And then what's scary is so... that's such an opinion.
Yeah.
People find clowns scary.
Right.
So if you're dressed as a clown, is that scary? People is a kid allowed to show up as a zombie, or is that scary? I mean, maybe somebody will think my son looks scary because he's in half, like, even though there's not blood or something. So if you have a peanut allergy and somebody shows up as Mr. Peanut, is that scary?
Well, to some people it is.
Yeah, so it's like, that's such an interpretation. So to write nothing scary, I'm like, I don't know. Is an illusion scary?
Listen, I don't know if all the schools do this or whatever. I just think it's just don't overthink it. It's Halloween, and I get it. Schools can be scary places today without question, but I think it's okay if he had intestines coming out of there. It makes the costume better. It makes it better.
That's part of the costume.
That's the costume.
He's cut in
half. It's not like a cartoon where they're, there's all of a sudden just red. There's stuff in there.
Someone said with fake blood's banned, used real blood. Oh, my God.
Oh, jeez.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.